Welcome all sports fans, Facebookers, YouTubers, all social media across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. Also, check me out on Uneducated Network. Both channels on YouTube. Please remember to like and subscribe. Yes, the NFL season is just one day away from seeing the Atlanta Falcons take on the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'll be in my crib watching that. So, you guys know what that means. Hey, before the week starts, we have our Uneducated Sports Talk pick'ems of the week. So that being said, we will go through every single game, and I'll give you my winner and why they won. And it's gonna be awesome. Last year I didn't do so hot. I started off pretty decent. I ended up kind of flaming out, but it's a new year, and it's always a new year. And as we go with this, I will get better and better. I promise you guys. So that being said, the new year is here. Who are you guys rooting for? Comment down below. Tell me who is your team and why they're going to win it all, or what do you expect from them. I want to hear all that. That being said, let's get into it. The first game of the season, like I said, is tomorrow, Thursday Night Football. The Atlanta Falcons take on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, and they will have Nick Foles as their quarterback while Carson Wentz is still dealing with his ACL injury. Maybe he'll be back in 3 or 4 weeks. We don't know about that, but in due time, they have a solid backup. He is your reigning Super Bowl MVP. So, that being said, Atlanta goes to Philadelphia. Who wins that and why? Well, I actually have the Atlanta Falcons beating the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, before you comment, last year, when everyone was on that Falcons bandwagon to beat the Eagles, I said, no, sir, Bob. The Eagles were the number 1 seed. Home field advantage means something in this league, and we all saw that. And even with a backup quarterback, they went out there and handled business. They only won 15-10 and could have easily lost that game with Julio Jones and Matt Ryan having a bad connection with each other. Look, the Falcons were basically 1 touchdown away from advancing to the divisional round. We all know what happened after that, though. The Eagles did win and went on to win the Super Bowl. The Falcons win 23-16. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Nick Foles we saw in the regular season last year just wasn't Nick Foles we saw in the playoffs. Things changed. He did an excellent job in the playoffs, got in the Super Bowl. But now it's kind of like things are changing. It's back to normal. And I think the Eagles being normal, having that normal mindset, might come back to haunt them on this night. I think the Falcons take care of business and win 23-16. And I hate to say that because, I want my divisional rivals to lose every single game. But I think the Falcons come out and make a statement in this game with their defense. Very underrated, by the way. So that's our Thursday night game. Let's go on to the Sunday games now. We have Cincinnati at Indianapolis. The Bengals take on the Colts. And with Andrew Luck coming in, he's still kind of fresh in the game. Hasn't played in well over 600 days. That's been documented plenty of times now throughout sports media. Well, the Bengals are trying to be that team that's come back from the dead. I have them playing a poor season, but I also have the Colts playing very badly this year as well. So out of the 2 bad teams, I have Cincinnati beating Indianapolis 20-17. They go in there and take care of business. Start 1-0. That is big. That is big. Buffalo at Baltimore, another ho-hum game, but I have Buffalo as being probably the most worst team in the NFL. I do not see this roster doing anything at all this year. They may get 3 games, 3 wins the whole entire season. But I have Baltimore winning 27-13. Baltimore defense is too good. They're playing at home. They're playing against Nathan Peterman. Last time we saw him, he threw 5 interceptions. So they're going to have a field day with that defense, I believe. The Baltimore Ravens will win 27-13. The next game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to Mercedes-Benz Superdome to play on the New Orleans Saints. And I had the New Orleans Saints routing them 34-21. Not really a rout, but being comfortable. With Ryan Fitzpatrick playing and not Jameis Winston, you kind of understand playing in the dome, this talented team with the Saints have now, they're not going to, keep up with the Saints, let's say that, especially at home. The Saints score a lot of points. I don't think Tampa Bay has the firepower to keep up with the Saints in the Superdome. So they win 34-21, excuse me. Houston at New England, which is one of the marquee games of the week, with Deshaun Watson coming back, and we know if he's completely healthy, he has a chance to be MVP of the league or have a chance to have the Houston Texans do good things this year. The New England Patriots are defending AFC champions, and they might just do that again this year. I mean, it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Those guys' connection is off the charts. Last year, New England, a similar situation. First game of the season against the Chiefs. and they get basically blown out by Kansas City. I kind of get the feeling it's going to be another shootout type of game. Houston, New England played last year, and it was that game. I think it'll be the same this year as well. I don't trust New England's defense. I trust Houston defense a little more this year with Watts, Merciless, all those guys coming back. I have the Houston Texans winning 35-27 in a very good ball game. So Houston beats the New England Patriots 35-27. Welcome. The San Francisco 49ers go into Minnesota to take on that great defense. Look, Minnesota at home is another animal on defense, and they're going to show today. Jimmy Garoppolo so far has been undefeated as a starting quarterback in the NFL. That will change week 1 of the NFL season. I have the Minnesota Vikings winning 23-14, and it's going to be a grinded-out game. Kirk Cousins' first game as a Minnesota Viking. There are going to be a lot of fill-out processes, but I think Minnesota has control the whole entire game because the defense is going to be on Jimmy Garoppolo like crazy, like paper with glue or glue on paper, whatever that is. But I have a feeling that Minnesota's going to take care of business and win 23-14. Our next game is Tennessee at Miami. It's one of the snoozer kind of games you have. These two teams, Tennessee going for the playoffs. Are they going to make it? We don't know. Did they really get better this year? Not really, but Miami, we all know Miami got a little worse. Miami's going to give a lot of yards this game to Tennessee, and Tennessee is just not going to capitalize. But I have Tennessee winning 22-20 in a weird kind of game. I think they either win at the buzzer. It'd be one of those close games that'd be very tight. So I do like that aspect of what this game can bring to you, a close game. Tennessee wins 22-20. Miami's run defense is horrible. I think that Derrick Henry's going to get a couple yards here and there. I think over 100 yards rushing, and Miami's going to just try and take it easy, but we don't know. But I have Tennessee winning 22-20, a good start for the Tennessee Titans. Jacksonville Jaguars at the New York Giants. This game is interesting. Saquon Barkley's first regular season game as an NFL pro, and he's going up against arguably the best defense in the NFL. And you know that Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Odell Beckham Jr., so a lot of trash talk is going to happen. I cannot wait to see this game because of that factor right there. Oh, and by the way, Leonard Fournette, the running game. I believe that Jacksonville's going to ground and pound the New York Giants run defense, and I think that Giants will get stopped by that Jacksonville Jaguars defense. It's going to be interesting to see what Saquon Barkley can do, because if he has a field day against this defense, then sky's the limit for him. So it's very interesting this first game. But I have the Jaguars winning slightly 24-17 in New York to take over the Giants. So Jacksonville Jaguars 24-17 victory. For our upset of the week, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns, and I'm telling you, the nightmare is getting worse and worse. Le'Veon Bell has still not shown up. I may be wrong. He probably shown up just a few minutes and I haven't noticed yet. But my phone is on off for a reason. But if he hasn't shown up, this is going to be a different team without Le'Veon Bell. And last year, with Le'Veon missing that significant amount of time, they went into Cleveland last year and almost lost against that Browns team. Now this is a totally different Browns team. The Browns last year were hurt by turnover after turnover after turnover with Deshaun Kaiser. Tyrod Taylor is the complete opposite of that. He doesn't make bad mistakes. He doesn't at all. So he's going to help this team stay in a lot of games. Even put in Baker Mayfield. He's that same type of quarterback who won't hurt you. They were after Deshaun Kaiser. Just don't hurt us. And he did a lot. So with that being said, I have the Cleveland Browns actually putting up some points on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not so good defense, I'm going to tell you that. I have the Cleveland Browns winning 31-27 in a shootout. I believe that Cleveland's going to win at the end. And if they win this game, this will be the talk of the week. And we all seen Hard Knocks. And yes, I may got a little bit of buzz from Hard Knocks, but this team has talent. They have mad talent, and I'm very excited to see the Cleveland Browns team play against Pittsburgh. They almost beat them last year in the same situation. They have more talent now. They're going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's my upset of the week. Cleveland 21, Pittsburgh 27. Now, let's go on to the later kind of games. We have the Kansas City Chiefs going to Los Angeles to face on their divisional rivals, the Los Angeles Chargers. Well, these two teams have firepower, and I think the Chargers just have a little more firepower. This is a must. It's too early for must wins, but the Chargers have to win this game. They've gone year after year after year, starting off so slow, 0-3, 0-4, 1-4, 2-5 kind of starts, and it's hurt them to where they had to climb at the end to almost make the playoffs. Well, they have to win this game against a divisional rival. You have Patrick Mahomes making his second career NFL start, but the first one that actually matters. So they have to take advantage of this, and I think they will. The Chargers win 38-28. They have a lot of firepower on offense. Kansas City's defense is kind of getting older. I don't like this matchup for the Chiefs. I think the Chargers win 38-28 in a shootout. Next game, one of the key games as well. The Dallas Cowboys take on the Carolina Panthers. Both teams were in the mix last year for a wild card spot. It went to Carolina. Dallas wound up going 9-7. Carolina went 10-6. These two teams are going to battle out. This is going to be a good test for both squads. Dallas revamped up. We don't actually quite know how they're going to run their offense. Well, we know this. Ezekiel Elliott is getting about 1,000 rush attempts. I'll tell you that right now. He's got to run the ball at least 30 times per game for this team to be significant. If Allen Hurns is your number one starting wide receiver, you're going to have trouble and you're going to need to establish the run. And Dallas, what better team to do that than the Dallas Cowboys? I think they take over because their Dallas defense is way underrated than what we're expecting. I think Dallas defense is going to be a top 5 defense this year with their front line. They have an awesome front line. So a front four. I think they put a lot of pressure on Cam Newton. I think that Cam makes a lot of mistakes in this game. I had the Dallas Cowboys winning 23-19 at the end. I think they have to stop. Carolina has to go and try and score a game-winning touchdown, and it doesn't happen. I had the Cowboys winning 23-19 over the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton and that squad, I'm just not trusting that offense right now. It might start clicking towards the end, but as of right now, I'm not a big fan of their offense. Next game, the Washington Redskins visit the Arizona Cardinals. Very interesting game because, I have both these teams kind of, well, Washington being semi-poor, but the Cardinals being really poor. But anything can happen. I think both teams show a lot of heart, and I'm very interested to see what Washington's quarterback Alex Smith does in this offense. A lot of RPOs. I think he's a better suited offensive quarterback. Well, he's a better suited quarterback for this particular team than Kirk Cousins is. I'm not saying Alex Smith is an upgrade. He's not, but he's a lot smarter. I think they'll change the offense to kind of fit him. He's more of a 3-step drop, let's get it out, and he's smart. He doesn't turn the ball over. Kirk Cousins fumble issues when it comes down to holding on or ball security. Alex Smith has all that. Unwanted turnovers the Redskins got last year. I think Alex Smith takes control of that. I think they go in and win a shootout with the Arizona Cardinals. They win 30-24. Sam Bradford starting for the Cardinals, but I'm still trying to think about the new offense. David Johnson's in there, Larry Fitzgerald. Well, David Johnson's back, so does he get a lot of carries? Does he get a lot of touches? I think he will. He should. He's back and he's ready. Larry Fitzgerald is going to be there. But the new offense, I got to see it to believe it. I have the Washington Redskins winning 30-24 over the Arizona Cardinals. Next game, the Seattle Seahawks at the Denver Broncos. Everyone is so high on Seattle, and a lot of guys are also high on Denver. Well, I'm kind of high on Seattle, but I'm very low on Denver at this moment. But things can change. Now, Denver being at home, Mile High Stadium, Case Keenum, the brand new quarterback there. I don't trust their offense, and their defense isn't as good as advertised anymore. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, but outside of that, who's really there to help that defense out? I think that it's going to be a very low-scoring game. We all know Seattle starts off slow every single season, pretty much the first couple games. Well, I think it started slow today, but for some reason, I still have faith in the Seahawks defense. I don't know why, but I think for some reason their defense comes out and makes a stand against the Denver Broncos and actually win in Denver by the score of 17-9. Denver, I think they're going to struggle on offense, get a couple field goals. Seattle, I'm telling y'all, I could be wrong. We all could be wrong. I could be wrong for sure. Denver could blow these guys out 42-0 for all I know. But as of right now, my gut feeling is saying that Seattle wins 17-9 over the Denver Broncos. Chicago at Green Bay for Sunday Night Football. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. Now that we have Khalil Mack joining the Chicago Bears, that front line was already looking good. The front seven for the Bears, now all of a sudden, it's a little different scheme. These guys are good. And with Matt Nagy as the head coach now for the Chicago Bears, he's an offensive guru. I think Mitch Trubisky will have a better year than he had last year, but not this drastic throwing for 4,500 yards kind of year. No, they just don't have the weapons on offense. Let's just be honest. Outside of Jordan Howard and maybe Robinson, wide receiver, but after that, they really don't have any weapons to help this team out. I got the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers coming back in Green Bay. The whole stadium is stoked. The whole stadium is ready for it. I think Aaron Rodgers puts on a show his first game back. The Green Bay Packers defeat the Chicago Bears by a score of 34-24 on Monday Night Football. I'm ready for some football. You guys just don't understand how much I'm ready for football. So, let's go on to the last games of the week. our Monday night doubleheader. Yes, I said doubleheader. First, the New York Jets at the Detroit Lions. Then it's the Los Angeles Rams at the Oakland Raiders. So let's go with the first one. The New York Jets at the Detroit Lions. And I'm looking for the New York Jets to make a statement in this game. Yes, you have Sam Darnold. Now, is he going to play just lights out football? I don't think so. But will he be okay and be a suitable starter for his rookie year? Yes. I have him winning Offensive Rookie of the Year for a reason. He's going to put up numbers. So I got the New York Jets winning 23-20 over the Detroit Lions. The Lions just don't scare me. There's nothing to be scared about the team. The Garrett Blount comes in, and you can have all the best running backs in the world. But if no one can block for your running backs, then you're going to have a problem running the ball all year once again. The Detroit Lions need to fix their offensive line, and they went with Frank Ragnar from Arkansas this year. But outside of that, I don't see that offensive line putting any kind of great pressure on a defense. So they're going to always put 7 to 8 guys in the box and force Matt Stafford to beat them. And Matt Stafford does usually, but now, years and years go by, you've seen enough tape. I think that the New York Jets, that defense is very scary. It's very underrated as well for the New York Jets. Jamal Adams and those boys, they're ready for this. And I think they will take care of business and win 23-20. And the last game on the docket, it's going to be the Los Angeles Rams at the Oakland Raiders. And this is going to be a very good game. I think Monday Night Football ends with a bang, a big bang. I think the Raiders and the Rams go to a shootout in Oakland. And the Rams lose 34-31 against the Raiders. That's just right. I think the Raiders will have a really good season. And the Rams might have a good season. I got them going about 9-7. Not as good as last year. But you never know. But the Rams, high-octane offense. They're talking about, look, Jared Goff is still your quarterback, and he didn't have killer numbers, but he was very efficient. But all this talent you're bringing in, this defensive talent is where Aaron Donald is coming. He's re-signed, and you got the Ndamukong Suh, and they're going to have this great defense with Marcus Peters and Akeem Talib. Pump your brakes. Let's see a game first before we just start crowning the Rams Super Bowl champions. I've seen it all across the media. That's like, the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm like, whoa, calm down. We just saw them in the playoffs last year, and they have experience. I understand that. But we just saw them in the playoffs, and they did not look good against the Falcons at all. That is a team that I see for this year. So the schedule's tougher, and they're going to have a lot of problems this year. So I got the Rams losing to the Raiders 34-31 in a high-octane game. I think the Raiders win by a game-winning field goal to end the week 1, and I'm stoked about this. So, recap. Atlanta beats Philadelphia. I have Cincinnati beating Indianapolis. I have Baltimore Ravens beating the Buffalo Bills. I have the New Orleans Saints beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Houston Texans defeat the New England Patriots. The Minnesota Vikings beat the San Francisco 49ers. The Tennessee Titans defeat the Miami Dolphins. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the New York Giants. The Cleveland Browns defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers in our upset of the week. The Los Angeles Chargers defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. The Dallas Cowboys defeat the Carolina Panthers. The Washington Redskins defeat the Arizona Cardinals. The Seattle Seahawks defeat the Denver Broncos. Chicago Bears lose to the Green Bay Packers. The New York Jets defeat the Detroit Lions. And the Oakland Raiders beat the Los Angeles Rams to end week 1. Tell me, guys, who is your team? Who are you rooting for? And if you think that someone's going to win, or if I made a mistake you think on one of these games, let me know. Comment down below. So with that being said, this is Uneducated Sports Talk. Also, check me out on Uneducated Network. My name is Carlos Clayton. I am your host. That said, sports fans, you guys know what time it is. Stay smart. Stay uneducated. Peace.